Before we'll wrap up on this game, though. We would be remiss if we didn't talk about the winning team. Because, of course, that's the Cowboys, right? Win or lose, they're the story. But the Green Bay Packers, all of y'all, and y'all know who y'all are. Y'all owe Brian Gutekunst an apology. Y'all owe Brian Gutekunst an apology. Y'all owe that man because does it apply to you? I don't even know. Does it apply to you?
It applied to me. It applies to me.
Okay.
It applies to me.
This was an all email that you were just talking about. This was all of y'all. So whoever, to whom it may concern, okay, this organization is an organization that knows what it is doing when it comes to drafting and developing, and specifically drafting and developing quarterbacks. Even though I know technically they did not draft Brett Favre, but they developed Brett Favre. So this organization came under a lot of fire because their former quarterback used his bully pulpit to act as though the organization was holding him back. And that the organization didn't want, they didn't take his personnel, like I'm trying to remember, this is a couple of years ago, his personnel recommendations seriously enough. He didn't wield the authority that he wanted to wield. And there were a lot of people that were critical of Mark Murphy and Brian Gutekunst for running Aaron Rodgers out of town. Or even before then, why don't they draft first-round receivers? Here we go. Why don't they draft first-round receivers? Why have they never given their quarterbacks enough help? How many receivers were cooking the Dallas Cowboys yesterday? All of them. They took turns doing it. They know what they're doing. They know what they're doing, and they have built a team that is here for the long haul. Hell, they may be in the playoffs longer than we expected, because even though they're going to San Francisco to see the 49ers, I ain't taking that for granted. I'm not taking that for granted. I'm not sitting up here saying the 49ers got it in the bag. Of course, I think the 49ers will win it, but I'd be a fool to overlook the Packers again. But that's for another day. But in the meantime, give Brian Gutekunst and give that man his flowers. Give that organization their flowers.
Who's the best quarterback on the field in that game? Who's the best quarterback on the field in that San Francisco Green Bay game?
Stop trolling. You know the answer to that. Stop trolling.
I don't know. What's the answer? I don't know. Give
Matt LaFleur his flowers. You know, a lot of people thought he was Aaron Rodgers' little puppet. And Aaron Rodgers was the reason they were doing what they're doing. Like, what a remarkable coaching job. What a remarkable win for that organization that has come under a lot of fire in recent years. But even historically, Favre bitched about the same stuff as though they weren't drafting at all. Like, they never gave Favre a first-round receiver. Never gave Aaron Rodgers a first-round receiver. You know what they gave him? Defenses. You know what they gave him? Running games. You know what they gave him? An offensive line. You know what they gave him? Young receivers that they developed into Devontae Adams, or even if you want to go back, Donald Driver, okay, and Devontae Adams, and Jordy Nelson, and Randall Cobb, and now it's Christian Watson, and Bo Melton, and Dontavian Wicks, and Romeo Doubs. It's like,
wow.
Who cares what round they're drafted in?
Crushing it.
They know what they're doing. Apologize to Mellow 5 and apologize to Brian Gutekunst.
That's right.
Hey, I'm just saying in general.
But I need to, because I was right there. A lot of those.
I'm keeping receipts on their behalf.
A lot of those comments you put out there, I recognize them. Is there an echo in here? There's an echo. I'm telling you, I have said some of those things, but I got to tell you. Now, we talked about it before. I think we talked about it last week. Well, with the Steelers, it may have been on the air, off the air, whatever. It all kind of blurs together, but it blends. With the Steelers and their coaches, like they take a backseat to nobody. I just don't think there's anybody who can match Noel to Cowher to Tomlin. But with the Packers, I know they haven't won their 6 Super Bowls like Tom Brady by himself in New England and 7 overall. I know they haven't done that. But you're talking about Favre to Rodgers, to Jordan Love now. I mean, that is an organizational vision. Right. That's not just luck. They know what they're doing. They know what they're looking for. It's not just the quarterback. It starts with the quarterback, but just their whole philosophy. They don't go out and they don't, spend $125 million in free agency. They're not trying to win in free agency.
Right.
For a long time, they
They've
have tried. They have believed in the draft and developing their guys.
Yep.
They have missed some. They've missed some big ones.
Sure.
But over the years, to the prophet again, the drum beat, the drum beat for righteousness has been there for the Green Bay Packers. They've done a really good job of drafting like second and third round picks. So props to the Packers. I don't know what to expect. Honestly, I think San Francisco will probably handle them handily. They'll take care of them. But I'm just impressed with what they did going on the road and taking down this Cowboys team. The way they jumped them was impressive.
Right. But they didn't act like a team that was surprised. It's like we may have been surprised. They may not have known any better. Again, I said earlier, like they're the team that, you don't want to play because they're ahead of schedule, even though it's just who sets that schedule? Me? You know what I mean? Or they're just happy. They weren't just happy to be there, and they weren't like, oh man, we got they came in from the jump, realizing that they could play with anybody. And if you are a fan, keeping with this theme, if you are a fan of the Green Bay Packers today, while the country is trying to figure out what the hell just happened to the Dallas Cowboys, you're sitting up there feeling like, wow, this was a glimpse into our future. We have another quarterback. We're not going to have to go through quarterback purgatory the way so many other organizations go. To your point, the Colts were fortunate to go from Manning to Luck, and they've been searching ever since. They got a young guy who's got chemistry. Nobody in NFL history has more production out of first and second year receivers than this team. This is one of the youngest teams in the playoffs in recent memory in terms of this roster. So it's like, if you're a fan of the Packers, you're waking up in Green Bay, Wisconsin today, or anywhere for that matter. Not that the fans are only in Green Bay, but the sun is. I don't even know what the weather is in Green Bay, but I know the sun is shining bright on this organization right now.
Oh, you know what the weather is in Green Bay.
I know, but what a great feeling that must be. This is the other side of it. The other side of being a fan, just to close out this portion of the conversation, is like there's the torture and there's the pain and there's the suffering that goes with being a fan. But then there's the hope that comes with having a young quarterback and having everything ahead of you. And even in this playoffs, playing with house money. Because like win or lose against San Francisco, it's like, yo, we just getting started, says Packer Nation. That feeling as a fan, there's almost nothing like it except for being a champion. Because there's like being a champion, and then there's the possibility of the thing. It's like Darius Love Hall and romance. The Packers are about the possibility of the thing right now.
Hey, thank you for watching Brother from Another. If you haven't hit that subscribe button, go ahead and do that now. Don't forget you can catch us 3 to 4 weekdays on PeacockTV.com and on Sirius XM Channel 85.